I think Squall looks way cooler in his school uniform than his late 90s Nomura getup.
Yeah, definitely. Go fight T-Rexes.
Also, his official Seed uniform's cooler than his official outfit. Like the one that's sort of similar to Quistis's. Like the black with royal blue.
Lively. He's just loud. Based.
Here he comes.
This is me, IRL, including the Mike Tyson face tattoo.
So honestly, Zell might be the best character in the entire game. His limit break is absolutely ludicrous, if you're good at it. But for the most part, I use Squall as my main damage dealer. I'm Squall. Dude, this game's tutorials are so beginner, just scary. It's like Zell joins and they're immediately explaining his limit break. It's like, dude, just give me some breathing room. There's so many tutorials.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, because there's so many, they want you to teach how this game is different, but they're just throwing too much at you.
Excuse me?
Oh boy.
Say what? I'm, what are the name of his cronies? Ragin and Fagin or something like that?
Yeah.
Fugin and Ragin. I'm the girl who says one-word answers. That's me.
She is good.
Pain! No! Ba-da-da-dum, ba-dum.
BTFO Cypher.
Oof.
Put Quistis on the list, yep.
You just made the list. Let's get through this exam, everyone.
Doom.
I love this song despite being 3 notes and snare drum.
I love this entire soundtrack. One of my favorites of all time. I'm not sure if I like it more than FF7. Maybe as like a complete soundtrack I like it better, but FF7 is more memorable in some ways.
This is quite a first mission. Like, not even 4 seeds for, like, to become a seed. It's like, yeah, we're dropping you on the beaches of Normandy. I mean, that's essentially what it is.
It's essentially what's happening, but, yeah. It's
oh, hey, before you really go through, like, basic training and become, like, an actual private in the army, here's Normandy. Like, okay. These cars, pretty cool. What do you think's driving?
I think no one is. I guess it's sort of me, because on the world map I have to move, but yeah, look. No,
oh, yeah.
It looks way bigger inside. Like, it's unrealistically huge inside.
Da 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 da. Whatever. Da 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 da.
Fine.
Scrooge!
I'm definitely a fan of protagonists that have, like, flawed personalities that they work out throughout the entire game, but sometimes it can be a little much. I know Spencer's never played, like, any of them, but a lot of the Tales of games have, like, extremely flawed protagonists, and they usually have, like, a crisis, like, in the middle of the game, which, like, changes them dramatically, but sometimes it's, like, too much. The Squalls are.
What did you call me? Well, at least Squall doesn't go through a ridiculously bad love story, so that's good. Say what?
I don't think it's bad. I don't really like Renoa that much. I just don't buy into Squall's, like, sudden personality shift and him suddenly care about Renoa when, like, early on he is very indifferent to her.
Chicken wuss. How do you ever use this again?
You can if you want to, but it costs a lot of money to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's like no reason to. I guess you get known counters, but like you don't even go that much faster. But yeah, you can go to the shop and like rent out a car again. But I think it costs like 3,000 gil, and like in this game, gil is not something you can earn from random encounters. All your gil is strictly just from either selling items or from your seed salary, which is like a thing that happens like every 10 minutes.
Hurry up and get into the literal Saving Private Ryan D-Day submarine.
So we're already being graded on stuff. I already explained, like, in the Fire Cavern, things were being graded. But if you talk to some NPCs here, like if I talked to Quistis, I would have got a point deduction. You're not supposed to talk to anybody.
No fun allowed!
People that had the FF8 demo are probably familiar with this entire mission.
Oh, it's such a great use of the demo.
Yeah,
like it's just
it really is.
Yeah, it gets you into exactly what's going on. You get to imagine if the demo was like, hey, the first 30 minutes you'd be like, I fought 2 fights.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Dollet or Dollet or whatever just abandoned everything. That's great. Yeah, 49 hours in, the France of our world just gave up, so we have to send a bunch of 17 and 18-year-olds in to do the dirty work now.
Yeah, Gardens, how they operate is... They go into it more and how, like, sinister it is, but it is ridiculous. Sounds boring.
How does it sound boring?
Because Cypher's so cool.
But literally, it's like, you're to eliminate the army. You're to literally go into the center and kill a bunch of people.
Also, he does not act on those thoughts at all, because he definitely wants to fight Galbadian soldiers really badly.
Alright. I can understand if right then Cypher was like, I don't want to.
Now this one makes sense. He ordered us to go look outside. If we say no, we get a point deduction. I mean, Quistis is looking at us, so that makes sense.
Is this
this cutscene.
Is this the one? This is like the weapon raid music from FF7, I believe.
The beginning of this game is just so strong. I think the first disc, I think a lot of people like genuinely like. It's just everything after disc 1 is like very hit or miss for people, me included. Like this game starts out with like these seed missions. Like you do this one and then you do the timber mission, like killing off the president, and like it's so cool. But then they like drop the missions and it becomes like, well, we'll see. But...
Yeah. It's kind of like how I really love Midgar in FF7, and suddenly you're not in Midgar, and you're like, wait, what? Like, you're like, oh, I'm taking down all 7 reactors, right? You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you're not, and then you're like out in the world, and you have to go to the calm flashback part and all this stuff, you know? I'm not saying that it's worse, but it's one of those things where you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, and you leave Midgar, like, you only do 2 reactors, Shinra is still on the rise. So it's purposely, like, very unfulfilling when you leave Midgar, but that is just, it's just showing that it's an entire new world out there. Which is cool.
You hear that, guys? Equip your GF. That feel when no GF. That feel when no Guardian Force.
Alright, so, very specifically for this, we're going to be unequipping everything, and equipping everything to Cypher. Does Walt still have?
Quistis does.
Oh, Quistis, okay.
So you're making Cypher God tier.
So, one thing about initial level runs is that Cypher doesn't matter. This is the only time you ever have Cypher for this very short part of the game. And what we need to do for this initial level run is kill off Squall and Zell right now in this battle.
Stop hitting yourself. Squall, no!
No! Cypher's loving this, though.
The dream is dead.
So human enemies are pretty annoying for initial level playthroughs. There's some forced encounters. You can't card human enemies. And the only way to get away from them is using Break, which petrifies them, but we don't have Break. So the only option now is to kill off everyone except for Cypher. There is a achievement, if you're playing like on the Steam or the PS4 version, there's a trophy called Contrived End, I believe, Contrived Finish, which is basically finishing the game initial level. But leveling up Cypher does not affect that achievement, so it's very intentional what they're doing here.
Blech. Didn't receive EXP.
So of course in this dumb game you have to exchange magic from people. I'm just gonna move everything from Quistis. I was like, why is Cypher so weak? I was like, oh yeah.
That's certainly instantly a lot better.
Oh no!
Knockout Badian soldiers! Soldier first class!
I like how Zell and Squall are just like dead on the floor. Ooh.
Whoa!
You know about this? It's a limit break you hardly ever see because Cypher is in your team for like amount of like 4 screens in the entire game.
I can't say, I might have never seen that.
Yeah. So the very nice thing about this, so GFs get new abilities based on their level, but because, first of all, bosses don't reward XP at all, ever. And GFs can't level up with AP alone. So there's some abilities that you really want to get, and it is such a godsend that Cypher's here so we can level up Quetzalcoatl, Shiva, and Ifrit to level 10 right now. The very important one is Ifrit needs to be level 10 to get ammo modding or refining, and ammo refining is required to get Squall's best gunblade. So if you couldn't do this right now, you would never get Squall's best weapon, which is very good.
Interesting. There's a lot of planning into this. Like,
Yeah.
my goodness.
Like I said, doing a low-level run is really easy. Like, if I was just killing these Galbanian soldiers, it's just like, I'd probably gain like a level or 2. I think if you fight all the forced human enemies throughout the game, you're like level 13. But it's not good enough. You need to be level 7.
How do you get? How do you deal with the other human enemies?
You use the magic break. Break petrifies human enemies. And in that regard, you don't get experience. The game basically treats it as you ran away from the battle.
Wow.
Yeah, I think when you're completely alone, chance of proccing a limit break is a lot higher. The other way to proc a limit break very easily is to be in yellow health, which I think is like under 25% health, and we are going to be doing that a lot in this game. So we kind of just have to wait around. I guess I'll take the Cypher.
Did it forget to level 10?
No. I'll show how you do that.
Stand by.
So there's one screen in the game where you have Cypher and there's random encounters, and it's this. I think it's 2 screens from now. Oh, if you go in the direction of the communications tower too early, you get another deduction. That's to the top left.
Man, a lot of rules here being a seed. Cypher got -1 for touching the dog.
Cypher gets -1,000,000 during this mission.
Yeah, true.
So you can see that Cypher, he's like, it sounds boring, but now he's desperate to fight Galbadian soldiers.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, okay, I do not believe that sounds boring.
Yeah.
This, if they were like, go to the center and wait, he'd be like, yeah, sounds boring.
Oh, another thing that's very odd about Cypher is some enemies or some teammates have innate abilities of being better at drawing than others, and Cypher is so good at drawing magic that he essentially gets 9 stocks of magic every single time, which is just such an odd thing to give him for such a character you use for all of 5 minutes. So
yeah.
they gave him a limit break, and they changed his ability to draw to be the best in the game. It's like, why?
I get it, but I mean, when you play with Sephiroth in the Calm Flashback for that limited amount of time, they give him like very specific like abilities and stuff.
But I think the point there was just to show that Cloud was a greenhorn and Sephiroth was absolute god tier at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they're having... I mean, Squall doesn't, like, job to Cypher, but Cypher's definitely stronger.
Yeah, they're, like, even. I would say they're completely even, but Cypher is willing to play dirty, which, in that beginning FMV against a duel, Cypher randomly uses fire against Squall, which disorients him.
Yeah.
It's not really cheating, it just... When you're doing a sword duel, it's like... I don't think they really, like, planned on using magic.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, win by any means
Alright, so this
necessary.
is the one room, this bridge right here. So you get random encounters and you have Cypher, so... I'm not going to show it, but this is how you grind.
Oh, do you have a save point up ahead?
Yeah. I'm going to be loading a little bit later. But, I don't think I can show it off, but Cypher at the end of my grinding, my GFs were like around level 20, and Cypher's like level like 39.
Woohoo! How long did that take?
With ×3, it really only took like less than an hour.
Okay.
So the thing about leveling up in this game is that every single level up is only 1,000 XP. It never changes, and enemies, because they scale with you, always give you the same experience regardless of what level you're at. So getting to level 100 in this game is really not that hard.
Wow.
Let's not die. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What the heck? Why was he so strong?
Holy crap.
Well, that sucks.
You were only level 9. I would just...
Yeah, I'm just gonna load the...
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, we get... That sucks.
I mean, it is what it is. We can go over the... Only a little tiny bit happened.
Yeah, so Cypher leaves the group, and Selphie shows up. And there's an FMV of her... Yeah, I just don't have a good save. Oh, well. Sorry, guys.
Honestly,
I don't know why that snake had 2,000 HP.
The FMV is like 3 seconds long of I almost said Yuffie, of Selphie running in. That's it.
So, yeah, level 20 GFs... because of that, I have a couple things unlocked. I'll go more into it later.
Okay.
But
I saw card mod.
man, that sucks so much. Yeah, I have card mod, but it doesn't really matter right now.
So you're just running from everything at this point?
Yeah.
Especially on times 3, that's pretty sweet. So this boss is, for an early boss, is not the easiest. Oh, one other thing we forgot to mention earlier is you can draw GFs from certain bosses.
Yeah, we're going to be doing it right here.
I remember that.
So if you do miss, I never knew this, but if you do miss like Siren and I think Carbuncle is also a GF you draw from an enemy, you can get it in Ultimisia's castle, but that means you go the entire game until Disc 4 without that GF, which is pretty brutal. But at least you can get it.
Look at it. Look at it! Oh, this music too. No, the wrench!
Look at that.
This is definitely a song that could be on FF7.
Yeah, obviously both soundtracks are by Dabu Uematsu, but yeah.
It just has that more, like, industrial type feel.
Yep. Which is very appropriate for this moment.
Oh, that bass. I forget, what's the reason for opening this on?
The Galbanian soldiers are basically there to activate this communications tower, but we're not exactly sure yet. But one of the reasons why the conflict ends is because they got this up and running, and they're like, we'll leave as long as this is up.
Likewise, mister. Oh, Biggs and Wedge. They're kind of joke
Wedge?
bosses, but they're, you know, you fight them at some point, right?
You fight them right now.
Oh, okay. Just shut up! Also, this music, though.
So good. Alright, so I'll be using the low HP strat to proc limit breaks. And this is going to be a lot of... it's just the best way to play this game. Whoops. Renzo Kukin is so amazing for, like, the literal entire game. So,
wow.
That's the worst RNG, and that's still 4 hits. But you can have up to 8 hits if you get lucky, but 8 is pretty rare. I would say, like, on average, you usually get 5.
Wedge.
And as you can see, abusing limit breaks, it's scary because your HP is so low. But at the same time, it's so good. And it's kind of, Squall has an ability to follow up the Renzo Kukin with something like Rough Divide. It depends on what the gunblade you have.
Is there any...
But it's completely RNG.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there any rhyme or reason?
No. It seems like it procs more often with Renzo Kukins that have more hits, but even that is not exactly true. Alright, so this guy has Siren. Luckily, they just tell you if there's like a GF. It's not like question mark. But you want to do that.
This guy's name is Alone or something like that. Good squawk. No! Nice.
Doing low HP strats against this guy's a little scary because he has some stronger attacks.
So yeah, for those who are relatively new to this game, at any given time, you have the chance of your limit break showing up. But it is much higher percentage the lower your HP is.
Yeah, I think
essentially, once you get to the yellow, it gets much, much, much higher.
Yeah. I don't know exact rates. When you're in, like, almost full health, it's, like, nearly zero. It, like, almost never happens. In fact, when you're, like, when it happens, you're just never ready for it. Because pushing triangle just brings you to the next character.
And that's why Treble just kind of really quickly switched through it, because every time your character comes up, you have a chance of getting it. So Treble will just really quickly, like, cycle through the characters until it's like, hey, here's your limit break. The new limit breaks are learned for each character by getting, I believe, new weapons, if I'm correct on that. And this game is weird as well on new weapons, because you don't just go to a store and buy new weapons. You have to make them.
You have to make them.
And the only way you can make them is by finding these magazines called Weapons Master.
I think yeah, Weapons Masters or Weapons Monthly.
Weapons Monthly. I think Trevor just got the March one, which is the first one.
The first one is, there's no unique items. It's all the ones that we already have. But basically, I think like what's happening is that you mod the weapon itself. So if you ever want to go back to Squall's like regular gunblade, you have to like mod it again.
Which makes sense.
It's another very weird thing. Like, this game literally does not have, like, purchasable, like, armor or weapons.
Yeah.
And obviously they did that to, give focus on the junctioning system, but it's another just, like, very weird thing about this game. Like, this game is almost like FF2 tier in ways.
It is, compared to your normal JRPG, it is very weird that you can't buy weapons and armor. That's just such a thing in Japanese RPGs. You get to a new area, they have stronger weapons and armor, you know? Like, that's just generally it.
Yep. So we're against the Spider Mech. His actual name is like XM18 or something. So I'm going to be doing something very unusual. Not in this fight, but you can actually kill this guy. And I'm going to be trying to do it.
Yes! Three! Oh. Still bad RNG.
Yeah, so sometimes enemies can have custom Renzokuken animations, and this fighter has one of them. But because of that, the only one we're ever going to get is the 4-hit one. So sometimes, like when we're going against the flying guy, the custom one was like 6 or 7 hits, so that's great. But against this guy, it's only 4 every single time.